Most of the players have been in spring training for a little more than 3 weeks. Today, we begin our second week of games here at Bright House Field. There's still some smiles going on, a lot of stretching before the game, and a lot of fundamentals as well. Bright House Field is the site where this afternoon the Pittsburgh Pirates come calling on the Phillies. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, joined by Matt Stairs. All right, questions are always part of spring training for any Major League Baseball team. For the Phillies, the questions abound as far as the outfield goes. Odubel Herrera is probably going to be the center fielder. Peter Borges probably going to be the left fielder. But with Aaron Alter's wrist injury, we don't know the extent of it right now. The right field spot is open, and the extra men spots are open as well.
Well, really, you flip a coin right now and see who's going to have a good spring training. Hopefully the injury to Aaron Alter is not too serious. These guys need to go out and prove that they can play the outfield on an everyday basis. That's the biggest thing. You have some veterans, you have some young guys. Goodell's probably a guy who's probably locked in now, depending with the injury with Alter. He's a Rule 5 kid. I just want to see these kids go out and compete, play good defense. Cedric Hunter's had a good spring training. He hit a walk-off home run last week. So for me, I want to see these guys go out, one, relax, but two, go out there and play solid defense and get some timely hitting.
All right, and then one of the other question marks for the Phillies, I mean, obviously the bullpen has some question marks, but who's going to be the fifth starter? Who's going to be the fourth starter in this rotation? We're going to see one of those guys today in Adam Morgan. I was impressed with Adam Morgan last year. I don't know how you felt about him.
Well, I was. And what's very impressive with Adam Morgan is he's a guy that can go out. He's not overpowering. Now, he's 2 years away from surgery on his shoulder. He's coming in this year. His arm feels freer. The ball's popping a little quicker. I just like that he can make that quality pitch when he needs to. He doesn't have that overpowering stuff, like I said, but he can hit the corners with a real slow curveball. He has a very good changeup. He works down the zone. When he needs to pop a fastball inside with a cutter, he keeps the hitters off balance. So as a hitter, you sit there and you say, okay, all of a sudden I'm looking fastball. He throws that slow changeup. And you can see right here, here are the 7 guys that are battling for the 4th and 5th spot, really. And it's going to be interesting to see. David Buchanan had a tremendous spring training last year, how he's going to go the rest of the spring training. Adam Morgan is also a guy who's been watching to do extremely well.
And Vince Velasquez pitched very well in yesterday's ball game. So what does Bob McClure think of these youngsters, in particular Adam Morgan?
All 3 of them had a couple games where they got whacked around pretty good. And it had no effect on their next start. They stayed with what they did well, and the one thing that we talked about, was basically, hey, when you were in trouble here, I saw you just come out of yourself and try and go harder, and you're not Sandy Koufax, you're Adam Morgan. So what do you do best? You change speeds.
Well, that is the key for Adam Morgan, is changing speeds. In fact, he said the other day in his first start, he tried to change speeds against Alex Rodriguez. He didn't change it well enough, and A-Rod hit his first spring training home run. So today it will be Adam Morgan on the mound for the Phillies. He'll be opposed by Jonathan Neese, over from the New York Mets organization. We got lineups and first pitch coming up. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Citizens Bank. One deposit checking. Keeping things simple is helping you bank better. By Toyota. Toyota's hybrid fleet is nothing short of a home run. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. By Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at IBX.com. Field, where the Phils and the Pittsburgh Pirates will get together for a second consecutive day. The Phillies won yesterday by a final of 1-0. Great pitching by both teams. The Fanatic was not in Bradenton yesterday, so he's decided he has to take some things out on the umpires. I think he's actually aiming at Bob Davidson, who is right next to Nick Leyva. Nick Leyva and Mickey Morandini bringing the lineup cards out for this afternoon's ball game. Let's take a look at the Pirates lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Josh Harrison leads it off at second base, then Jordy Mercer and Andrew McCutchen. Jason Rogers over from the Brewers is over at third batting cleanup. John Jaso's at first. Elias Diaz is the catcher. The bottom third of Joyce, Gobert, and Jonathan Neese. The pitcher will indeed bat for the Pirates here this afternoon. Adam Morgan will not bat. There is a DH for the Phillies, so Morgan just has to worry about pitching. His numbers from a season ago, not too bad, Matt, in his first outing against the Yankees, as he said, and we mentioned during the Open, he said he threw one bad pitch, and that was the changeup to Alex Rodriguez.
Well, and that's the key for Adam Morgan is his location on all his pitches. You can see the scouting report, 82, 94. The 82 is probably more of his curveball changeup. 94 will be his four-seamer. I really like his cutter. He'll mix in once in a while. Slider curve change, and you see in 2011 he was a third-round pick for the Phillies.
Yeah, last year he did not have a win in the minor leagues, but then came up to the big leagues to win those 5 games. So he's scheduled to go 3 innings here this afternoon. And he will face Josh Harrison to start things off. Pirates do have some everyday players in their lineup today. Harrison, Jordy Mercer, Andrew McCutchen. And depending on how things break, Jason Rogers could be in their everyday lineup, and John Jaso could be over at first base for them. So the first pitch of the day from Adam Morgan is a fastball taken outside, so underway. Harrison did not have a very good start to the season last year. He hit .213 in April after signing a new contract with the Pirates. Clint Hurdle thought he was putting a lot of pressure on himself, and that seemed to change once the calendar flipped from April to May. Out to right field. Tyler Goodell comes in a few strides.
And what you do see a lot of with the younger players or middle-aged players that sign long-term deals, they think they need to step up with their game and do something different where just relax. You're set for life. You know, just repeat what you did last year. Have fun, enjoy the game, stay within yourself.
Well, one away. Here's Jordy Mercer. He's off to a good start this spring. Played in 116 games last year. His time was whittled down a little bit because of offensive struggles, and because of the emergence of a couple of other players for the Pirates, Neil Walker being one, who's now over with the Mets. Out of play, 1 ball and 1 strike. Pirates last year made the postseason with 98 wins. Lost to the Cubs in the National League wild card game. Change up, fades down.
Great location, though. Down the zone, fading away, like you said, Tom. A-Rod's changeup was up in the zone. That's why it was a home run.
Fastball just a bit low. Count now 3 balls and 1 strike to Jordy Mercer. Over toward Charlie Manuel and Greg Luzinski in the Phillies dugout. The count is full, 3-2. Adam Morgan, before his shoulder injury a couple of years ago, was a big prospect for the Phillies organization. Even though last year he got a chance to come to the big leagues, he was still strengthening that shoulder as the season was going on. He's remarkable, though. 0-6 down in the minor leagues. Comes up to the big leagues, and he was less than .500, but I think we were all intrigued by what he was able to offer.
I would agree.
On the hands, popped foul out of play, and it remains 3-2. There are moments where he'll use a number of pitches to get through an at-bat. As he continues to evolve, he kind of sets the hitters up to be successful. Ground ball over to third. Maikel Franco, a step to the line. Throw was high, but Darren Ruff's able to handle it. And there are 2 outs. Well, Clint Hurdle is a favorite in the game of baseball. His personality, always being upbeat. 6th year with the Pirates, 431 wins, 379 losses. He is zeroing in on 1,000 victories as a major league manager. There's Pete Mackanin in his first full season as the Phillies skipper. And former MVP Andrew McCutchen will stand in. Change up. He's sitting there thinking, I'm going to get a fastball here, and Adam Morgan starts him off with a change up. He's ahead 0-2.
See, Adam has that delivery where he has a very quiet delivery, and Ben mentioned it the other day on the air about the quiet deliveries, and all of a sudden, bang, the ball gets on you very quick. And it throws a ball that gets on you very quick. Just because it's so easy, then boom, it gets on you.
Well, he's got good movement today on that breaking pitch. McCutchen is an easy target. A second assist for Maikel Franco. So a good first inning for Adam Morgan. A 1-2-3 top of the first. We'll head to the bottom of the first where the Phils will hit for the first time. First time. Let's take a look at their starting lineup for today, brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Galvis, Borges, and Franco, followed by Darren Ruff, Carlos Ruiz, and Tyler Goodell. And the bottom third, Nick Williams in left, Taylor Featherston at second base. And the DH today is Cesar Hernandez. And they'll face veteran left-hander Jonathan Neese, acquired by the Pirates from the New York Mets. He's basically been a 500 pitcher for his entire career. He's been a pretty good pitcher, though, for his entire career.
Oh, he has, and he goes out there and he pitches 176 innings last year. What I really like about him is that he competes. He doesn't have the overpowering stuff. You can see the scouting report, 87, 90 miles an hour, 5-pitch pitcher, and he uses all 5 pitches when he needs to. You can see 10-7 with a 3.25 ERA versus Philadelphia Phillies.
Yeah, he's had years where he's dominated the Phillies. He's had other years where the Phillies have gotten his number. Freddie Galvis leads things off. First pitch is over on the outside corner. The ever-evolving leadoff position for the Phils here in spring training. For no other reason but Pete Maccannon's trying to get guys ABs. He's trying to look at certain people, but I would think Odubel is going to be the leadoff hitter. And if not Odubel, then Borges.
Just keep an eye on while Neese is in the game pitching. How many pitches that he throws inside to right-handers? He stands on the third base side. Now, if I'm facing a left-handed pitcher as a right-handed hitter, I would feel very comfortable seeing the ball out over the plate because he has to open up to throw it to the outside the corner.
Out to left field, playable for Gobert. And what away. Well, where he stands in the rubber, the Phils certainly have a good scouting report on him. 23 career games against the Phillies and a solid ERA of 3.25. Was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago when it seemed like every time the Phillies faced the Mets, he pitched one of those games? Peter Borges is the batter. Not a bad start for Borges this spring. 4 hits and 12 ABs. Just a bit low, and it's 3-0 to Borges.
And not a bad start to spring training with having a lot of guys, especially with Mike Schmidt, in his ear about trying to get his hands going back towards the umpire. Get some movement in your body. Big, strong kid. You can hit a ball a mile, and they're trying to get the hands just to go back in that loaded position a little bit behind his right ear.
Takes a strike on the inside corner. It's 3-2.
Well, after this pitch right here, which has actually looked pretty good, right at the knees, make sure you apologize to the umpire. My bad. Won't happen again.
Off the hands down the left field line. If it drops, it's going to be an extra base hit, but it drops in foul territory. Borges was already halfway to second base once that ball went into the crowd.
See, he gets a little loaded, the ball gets a little deep on him, but he does a nice job keeping his hands in tighter to his body, even though it was foul. A lot of times if you cast a little bit away from your body, you're hitting a home run over the left field foul pole or a light tower over there.
Well, and you talk about his hands. I thought the first couple of pitches, his hands went back.
Yep.
But I guess it's like anything else. It's just trying to break whatever habit you had before. There's ball 4, and he's aboard. See how Neese keeps him close over there at first base. With Michael Franco coming up. Franco already has 2 home runs this spring, 6 runs batted in. He evolved into the Phillies' best hitter last year as a rookie before going down with the injury. Pete McCannon's talked about him taking on more of a leadership role, and that's partly because of his stature.
Right.
And he is the centerpiece to this lineup on so many levels.
Yeah, and I think I know he's the type of kid that who loves that. He's not going to be that loud leader who goes in and upsets a table or the food tray or whatever it is because he's angry. He leads by example. He plays the game right. He plays the game hard, and he wants to play every day. And they talked about him last year how his defense, they took ground balls every day. He was in the cage all the time, working to get better.
Goes after a high pitch there, and it's 2-2. I mean, there are others that'll be in this lineup. Ryan Howard, Carlos Ruiz, that can take the leadership role, but he's sort of the next one up. That one's smoked out towards center field. McCutchen on the run. He'll get there, and he makes the catch. Retreating back to first is Borges, and there are 2 outs.
Fastball down the zone. Just hits it off the end of the bat, but I really like the approach with 2 strikes, working up the middle. A lot of hitters will get in that pull zone with 2 strikes. Hit weak ground balls to third. That's what you need to do is think about getting the ball deep and hitting the ball back up the middle.
Well, here's a guy that's been hitting the ball hard, but doesn't have a whole lot to show for it so far this spring, and that's Darren Ruff. playing first base today against the lefty. Ryan Howard is back in camp. Howard had been battling an illness over the last couple of days, but he was out doing some of the drills earlier today. But in what most likely will be the case as the season rolls on, with a lefty on the mounds, as you saw Ryan in the dugout, Darren Ruff will get the opportunity most of the time against those left-handers, at least at this moment. You take 100 plate appearances for first baseman. His OPS and his batting average was the best against lefties. The ball's hit well deep to left field. Gobert's going back. It is gone. A 2-run home run for Darren Ruff. It's his first of the spring, and the Phils have jumped out to a 2-0 lead. Well, Matt, right on cue against the lefty.
And it's one of those things where you know last year you had a good year facing left-handers. You see the location right here, little cutter inside, inner third, and we talked about Darren Ruff. His swing is so quiet. He's a strong kid. He reacts, throws the barrel. Bottom line, 2-run home run.
Yeah, that's basically against the wind too. Yeah. As Diaz just took that foul ball off his leg. All that protection, and the ball found a part of the body where there wasn't any protection. So it's the outside of that left knee.
Right off the knee.
Yeah. He's got a lot of padding there, but that must have hit it pretty flush right on the shin guard. Right smack dab on that kneecap. They do have 3 other catchers that they brought with them from Bradenton. And Jaso over at first base has also done catching during his career. He's going to feel that for a couple of days, I would think. Nice to see him up on his feet and sort of stretching his legs. So he'll stay in. The count is no balls and 1 strike to Ruiz. Carlos knows how that feels. It's been a good pitch for Neese during his career. That curveball just didn't bite. That is DJ Rayburn behind home plate. Bob Davidson at first. Tom Hallion's the crew chief at second. Vic Carapaza at third. Carlos holds up on that breaking ball. Right field. Matt Joyce is the right fielder today. Side is retired. The Phils get 2 on a 2-run home run by Darren Ruff. He got a pitch near the inside part of the plate, and he did not miss it. So we'll go to the second. It's the Phillies 2 and the Pirates nothing. The Phils get their 2 runs on a 2-run home run by Darren Ruff. And for the Pirates, it'll be Jason Rogers, John Jaso, Elias Diaz against left-hander Adam Morgan. We've got 2 ground ball outs in the first inning and the fly ball out to right. Jason Rogers over from the Milwaukee Brewers organization, where last year he played in 86 games with the Brewers and hit .296, 4 home runs, 16 RBIs. Pirates gave up a couple of good prospects for him, and the thought is that he can play both third base and first. They no longer have Pedro Alvarez, who signed with the Baltimore Orioles. They've got a host of guys that are battling for that first base job. Jaso, who's in the on-deck circles. One Michael Morse is with the Pirates. Play. It remains 1-2.
Big fan of Michael Morse. Tremendous power.
Yeah, you wonder how much he has left, and I think he can play first base. Clint Hurdle is hoping that whoever it is over there can provide a little bit of pop. Maybe less strikeouts than Alvarez. Out front, Ruiz off with the mask. Franco will call him off. One away. Well, this is game 2, Murph, of the matchup between the Pirates and the Phils. Yesterday, you were in Bradenton. Phillies pitchers did an outstanding job.
Yeah, you know, we're getting a chance to see Adam Morgan today, kind of audition for that number 5 spot, as you guys talked about. But 2 guys yesterday in Bradenton for the Phils doing the exact same thing, and Vince Velasquez and also Brett Oberholzer. And they both pitched very well. In fact, the entire rotation yesterday pitched very well. It was good to see. I had a conversation with Bob McClure before he went out on the field today. I said, you had to like what you saw yesterday in Bradenton. And he said, you know what, Murph? He said, the guys yesterday attacked the hitters. That's all I asked them to do all the time. Don't try to nibble at the corners, attack the hitters. And he said, I saw that out of most of our guys yesterday, and the results were good. 7 strikeouts, just 2 walks from 5 pitchers through 9 innings. It was a 2.5-hour well-played game. And for a pitching coach to see that out of guys that are battling for jobs, it certainly was good for Bob McClure to see.
Yeah, I thought it was, with all the walks that we have seen in spring training, I mean, there have been a number of them for both teams that have been playing here at Bright House Field. It was nice to see a crisply played ball game. 2 balls and 1 strike to John Jaso. That one's pulled foul, 2-2.
Yeah.
Velasquez, Matt, was the guy that he was the key to that deal for Ken Giles. And the hopes is that he would eventually be in the Phillies rotation.
Right, and look, I have no problems pitchers going out and giving up some home runs. What drives you crazy is the walks. As long as you go out there and you pound the strike zone, give your defense an opportunity to play some solid defense behind you, because there's nothing worse when you go into a game and it's ball 1, ball 2, ball 14, ball 16, whatever it is. And we've seen a couple of games like this year.
Oh, we have.
And the coaching staff, and trust me, Bob McClure wants you to work down the zone, and he does not care if you give up a base hit or a home run. He wants some strikes, and he wants to pitch to contact.
You know, Matt, it's a perfect point, and that's what happened yesterday. The Phillies pitchers they scattered 8 hits throughout that game, but they were really, you add in the 2 walks, the 10 base runners, but a lot of them were erased on double plays. The pitchers were making pitches when they had to make them, and they weren't giving them extra guys out there on the base pass like we have seen earlier in spring. So it certainly was good to see, and talking with McClure right before this game started, you could just tell that he was excited about what he saw yesterday. And I should tell folks we're going to get a chance to talk to Vince Velasquez later on in this game. In the top of the 6th inning, he's going to stop down the line and have a conversation with us.
Well, those are the first 2 guys that pitched yesterday. We saw Velasquez and now Oberholzer's line. 4 hits, 3 innings, 1 strikeout. Brett is not necessarily a strikeout pitcher, so he pitches to contacts. After Morgan walks Jaso, Elias Diaz takes a strike. It's 0-1. Diaz hit .262 in winter ball this past offseason. And his comfort level, at least it seems, is carried over to the first few games he's played this spring. He's 4 for 6. In fact, he has 3 hits and a walk in his last 4 at-bats. The last 4 plate appearances. Over to shortstop. That might be 2. Galvis had a little trouble getting it out of his gloves, so that allows Diaz to get to first. Fielder's choice, 6-4 on the putout. It's all these new gloves, Matt. They're just trying to break them in. The ball's squirting around a little bit.
Yeah, the exchange right there, he's got a little deep in his glove, and just that little hair has not been able to do a 6-4 3-double play. But and that's something that they also need to work on the spring training some more is their defense. And they're allowing some errors, some costly errors. And really, I mean, if you ask Freddie Galvis, that's a routine double play.
Matt Joyce waves at the first pitch. Joyce, a minor league invitee to spring training for the Pirates. Spent 6 years with the Tampa Bay Rays. Put up some pretty good numbers with the Tampa Bay Rays. Double digits in home runs in a lot of those seasons. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Last year he was with the Angels. Did not have a whole lot of success. And now he's sort of bouncing from one organization to another. Chopper right side. Ball is bouncing every which way to Featherston. Put out goes 4-3. No runs, no hits. 1 man left for the Pirates. We played 1.5. It's the Phils 2. Pirates nothing. Opener, I should say, when the Phillies take on the San Diego Padres. It's brought to you by Nemours, a commemorative opening day cap free to all fans who come out to the yard for a little afternoon baseball. Order your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. Padres have a brand new manager, Andy Green, in his first year as the skipper of the Padres. Well, Darren Ruff has provided the offense so far, a 2-run home run. That was in the first. And now Tyler Goodell, Nick Williams, Taylor Featherston will face off against Jonathan Neese. Tyler Goodell, Rule 5 pick from the Tampa Bay Rays organization. Looks like he's getting more and more comfortable with each passing game.
Yeah, and what I really like is one, his defense is tremendous. He's a very smart outfielder, but I like how he stays on the plane so long with his swing. Even though he hit a ground ball back to the pitcher right there, you can still see he was trying to keep that barrel through the zone as long as possible. That's why you see a lot of base hits hit the right field. It'll be interesting to see, what kind of adjustments right here, straight through, no uppercut swing. See how level it is? He goes through, he uses that top hand, and his thought process is he wants to hit the ball up the middle, right center, which is great. Now, a little later on in spring training, now we need to turn on a couple of baseballs just to show that you can do it and feel good about yourself.
Well, you've always talked about this. When a hitter starts in a crouch, you kind of have to stay in that crouch.
You have to stay in that crouch.
And he's in a bit of a crouch, and he stays in that the whole way through.
And that's the reason why his swing is so level.
Nick Williams loops it down the left field line and quickly in the hole, 0-2.
Now, if you watch Nick Williams swing, he starts high and then he gets back on his backside pretty good. But when he swings, he kind of comes up off his back leg, so his head moves a little bit, which changes the strike zone. And you can see him get back very nicely, but all of a sudden now he comes up just a little bit, which causes you to the top of the baseball. Or it almost looks like you have an uppercut swing.
And it is just a hair. And that ball got a piece of him, so he'll take first. One out base runner.
Right on the inside elbow. Inside or front? That front elbow.
I guess the front. It looked like it changed directions a little bit once it passed the front one.
I'm skipping to first base when I get hit by a left-hander, especially with 2 strikes.
I'd love to see you skip up the first base
No,
line.
you
Featherston takes outside, 1-0. Humming a song in your head as you're doing it. Featherston, 26 years old. He was with the Angels organization and made their opening day roster last season. He played second, third, and shortstop for the Angels and wound up playing in 101 games. Pitches to .162. Ball runs outside, 3-0. Ball 4. So a hit batter and a walk with one man down, and it brings the designated hitter Cesar Hernandez to the plate. Diaz will go out to talk to Nice. I think he wanted a couple of those pitches, at least one of those pitches that he threw toward Featherston.
Now this is an area with Cesar coming in to hit. He's in the 9 hole, hit by a pitch, 4 straight balls. A lot of people think, well, do you want him to take a pitch? Do you want him to be aggressive? I want to see him be aggressive in his strength, in his area where he thinks he can drive a ball right now. Just don't swing at a strike. Swing at your strike.
That one is golfed out toward left center field. McCutchen runs well, but he's not going to get this one. A one hop off the top of the wall. Williams will score. Rounding third, heading for home is Featherston. Hernandez to third, and he is there in time. It's a 2-run triple. Well, by the results, I would assume he swung at the right pitch.
Well, he did, and this is a pitch that's out over the plate. That's a ball where you can get extended and drive. Very nice swing, foot down early, drives at the left center. You know, and you just hate to see that situation where it's a fast one side, then all of a sudden you get jammed. And we talked about being hustling and these guys running the bases. No hesitation.
Only the 3rd hit of the spring for Cesar, but he made it count. So a 2-run triple. The infield is in, and Galvis fouls it back. It's 0-1. 38 pitches for Jonathan Nice. The Pirates may start to get somebody at least stretched out. Although he's scheduled to go at least 50 pitches, they'll come to the plate with this one, and everybody did everything right. Cesar Hernandez slid correctly. Diaz gave him the path to slide. And the putout goes 6-2 on a fielder's choice.
It's a nice play at short. Makes an off-balance strong throw to the catcher. Gives him an area to slide. I mean, that's a good read right there. You know, good jump. Not much you can do right there. Good tag.
Yeah, he was close to being safe.
He was.
Now, what you saw there, you may not see during the season.
Exactly.
As far as the runner going on that particular contact play. Pete said it's kind of evolving right now as far as how he's going to do things. There's a method to his madness.
He's setting teams up.
To a certain extent, maybe.
He is. Yeah. Now, in that situation, you might not see it during the season, depending on who hitting. You know, if Franco's hitting next, he probably is not going to go on contact.
0-2 to Borges.
Look, the bottom line is when you build your team on speed, Cesar Hernandez is at third base. He got a tremendous jump. Tip your cap to the shortstop, who made a fine play and a strong throw to the catcher.
Fly ball, shallow right center field, and Andrew McCutcheon will be able to track this one down. Side is retired, but just like the first inning, the Phillies here in the second inning score a couple more runs on a 2-run triple by Cesar Hernandez. Yesterday against the Pittsburgh Pirates, Phillies lead it 4-0. Gear up for the Phillies 2016 season with Jillian Neely's exclusive sit-down with Phillies new manager Pete Mackanin. Watch Phillies Focus, presented by Acme, tonight at 10 right here on TCN, the Comcast Network. Well, one thing I'm sure Jillian realized, as we have realized during our years knowing Pete Mackanin, he's funny. He doesn't mind making fun of himself. He doesn't mind making fun of you. But he is as good as it gets as far as a person goes. There's Jake Gobert, who takes a strike.
Which I think is a great mix for the type of players you have here. You have a young team, a lot of spots are open. He wants to keep it loose. He wants these guys not to just think about baseball and say, okay, you have to concentrate on baseball 24/7. Of course you're going to. But he just wants the fun feeling of going up and cracking a joke and making you smile and not putting the pressure on you of going out and playing the game that really you should love playing.
Well, and he's also instilling, and I think every manager does this, but he's doing a little bit more this spring, along with his bench coach Larry Boa, on instilling the fundamentals. If he sees something that happens during, let's say, yesterday's game, he's going to use the fundamental sessions before today's game to prove that point. So yesterday, Brock Stassi didn't tag up and go from second to third on a fly ball. So today, as that ball is hit sharply out to second base, Gobert is retired. So today, he ran a drill where the outfielders were being fed fly balls and the base runners were tagging and making a decision as to whether they were going to go to third or not.
And that's great. You know, you learn by mistakes. So the next day you work on things. It's not a punishment. You have fun with it, but now it just makes you realize you get into a game situation, knowing where your outfielders are. Okay, can I go? Who's in right field? Who has a strong arm in the outfield? You know, and who's taking the different angle coming in throwing wise?
Right.
It's perfect. And the great thing about with Pete is that he's had so many thoughts running through his mind throughout all of his career in baseball. Now he finally gets to come in and be the sheriff of who gets to. He's the manager in his first full year. Now all those things that he wanted to do, it can be done because that's what he wanted to do to build up.
Bench coach under Charlie Manuel, the winningest all-time manager, who was out here while that fundamental session was going on. Breaking ball to Nice, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Just sit on that. Eyeball it. Blow him up to get it up.
And a fastball. They missed the spot. It looked like a pretty good pitch. It just missed Carlos's glove. I think the one thing that's great is 93 miles an hour. To the right side, and that may sneak in into the outfield. It does. A 1-out single for Nice. McDonald's opening night will take place on Tuesday, April 12th. It's during that Padres series that we talked about. It's a Hatfield Dollar Dog Night, but all fans 15 and older will receive the McDonald's opening night T-shirt when they come to Citizens Bank Park. As always, you can get tickets for each upcoming game during the 2016 regular season, even spring training games, by going to Phillies.com. So the Pirates have a base runner with 1 man down. Josh Harrison flied out to right his first time up. So he's 0 for 1. That hit, by the way, was the first of the day for Pittsburgh. Chop, bounce, 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 bounce.
I always found it interesting, and I watched Nice standing at first base talking to Darren. Darren's playing behind him now. What conversation's going on there? Man, you crushed that fastball inside, or did you get all that one, or, you know, be interested to see what kind of conversations go on.
Over to third, that could be 2. Franco to second for 1. They hurried the throw over to first in time. Side is retired. A 5-4-3 around the horn double play. No runs, 1 hit, and nobody left for the Pirates. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Papa John's. The day after every Phillies win, get 50% off regular menu price pizzas using the promo code Phillies online at papajohns.com. And by W.B. Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. Bet you if Peyton Manning had to read that, it would have been a little smoother. You're not going to be at the ballpark. It wouldn't be bad to be out on the water today. Matt, would you be out in a boat if you were given the opportunity or no?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay, good. The Osprey have already ventured out.
I would not be up there.
You would not be up?
No. I would not.
I'd not be up in their condos. This is where Matt would not be unless we knocked him out and carried him up there some way. And then rustled him up from his nap. Yeah, that's pretty high. I don't know if I'd be up there.
No chance.
Here's Maikel Franco to lead it off. Franco flied to center, line to center his first time up, so he's 0 for 1. Off speed pitch, that's a good one.
Good changeup, the dreaded equalizer. Neck to neck.
Yeah, different spot. To shallow left field, charging in is Gobert, who's there. And one out here in the third. Darren Ruff provided a big spark in the first inning.
That he did. Fastball in our half. Nice quiet swing. Powerful swing. Barrels it and puts it on the board for a 2-0 lead in the first.
Phillies added 2 more in the second inning. Darren and his wife Libby welcomed their first child this past offseason. Young Henry was born in November. So Libby at the ballpark the other day, and she was walking Henry down to Darren after the game. Oh, 0-2 to Darren Ruff, who will be 30 years old this year. It's remarkable when Matt Klintak was talking about that. All of a sudden you're like, oh my goodness, time is just zipping by. He's going to be 30. And it was in the context of, we have to see what Darren can bring this year. Foul territory. Jaso has room. And there are 2 outs. Sunday, April 17th. What are we going to be doing? Well, we're going to be celebrating the Fanatic's birthday, brought to you by Citizens Bank. The Fanatic Flare Hair Visor, free to kids 14 and under. It's all part of a 3-game series against the Washington Nationals. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. Speaking of the Fanatic, he's over by the third base dugout, about 10 or 11 rows up, and there are cameras flashing every which way. There he is. He found a person to sit on. 1 ball and 1 strike. I mean, look at all the cameras that are popping to try to get a photo of him. Carlos lines one to left field, but it's right at Gobert, and the side is retired. Well, he hit it sharply, but nothing to show for it. The Phillies go down in order here in the third. We'll head to the fourth. The Phillies will go to the bullpen and bring in veteran right-hander Andrew Bailey. 1 spring game so far, 1 strikeout in that 1 spring game. And he was battling for a spot toward the back of the Phillies bullpen. He wants to be the closer, just like David Hernandez wants to be the closer and a couple other guys. And he's trying to get himself as healthy as possible, which he does seem to be. You see some of the particulars on him. Paul VI High School in Haddonfield. He spent 5 years in the big leagues. Last year he had 10 games with the Yankees and also pitched in 28 games in the minor leagues. He's had some shoulder injuries the last couple of years. In fact, had right shoulder surgery in 2013 and then had to overcome a right shoulder strain last year. But he is healthy, and that one outing he looked very good.
I love the fact that he just wants to be that closer again.
Yeah.
And he has that closer mindset where he just wants to go out, and I talked to him a lot in spring training when I was in uniform, and he says he gets on that mound and he absolutely loves it. Throws as hard as he can, tries to break the glove of the catcher.
Yeah, last time he was probably topping off at 93, 82, 93. He'll probably be in that neighborhood again here today. He's just out there for one inning. 1 ball and no strikes to Mercer, who grounded out to third his only time up. Off the hands. That's going to carry pretty well. Nick Williams, shading his eyes from the sun, makes the catch. Matt, did I miss that? They looked like it was down towards his hands.
No, it was, but actually the wind's blowing pretty good right center to left. See, Chooch wants it low and away, and it's clipped it off the end a little bit.
It's not off the hands. So McCutchen, who grounded out his only time up. McCutchen wrapped up last season with 23 home runs, 96 runs batted in. A lifetime 298 hitter. Ooh, look out. Fortunately, that bat hit a bushel of open seats, because it's a good crowd today, particularly down in that area. And everybody is fine. That patriotic young man got the bat.
Seen this happen way too often. Broken bats going in the stands, line drives going in the stands. You know where I'm going with this, Tom.
Yeah. Well, we've seen it the last couple of days. That one has popped up on the right side. Last couple of days, bats going flying into the stands. And I know you're a proponent of extending that net.
I am. I mean, we're changing the rules of baseball. You're protecting the catchers. You're protecting the middle infielders with the late slider, the dirty slider, whatever you want to call it, the Jay Utley rule. Now it's time to protect the fans. I mean, they've done a great job here in Clearwater of extending it by 15 feet on each side. But the guys are throwing so much harder nowadays. The bats are breaking a lot easier than they have in the past, and you're seeing this every day. It seems like every day in the newspaper or on whatever you're watching for sports at home, you're seeing a highlight of someone getting hit with a foul ball or a broken bat or something. So it's time to change the game and protect the fans.
You'll see around baseball this year, including at Citizens Bank Park, that they'll extend the netting. You may see in the years to come them extending the netting even farther.
Right.
Jason Rogers grounds one over to third. Franco stays down on it. And an easy inning for Andrew Bailey. So he's pitched 2 innings this spring. He's allowed just 1 base hit. We go to the bottom of the 4th. The Phillies up by 4. By Toyota. Toyota's hybrid fleet is nothing short of a home run. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. And by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Beautiful day here in Clearwater. Hope you're enjoying the warmer temperatures back home for the next couple of days. Back in the Delaware Valley, temperatures are supposed to get into the high 60s, low 70s, which is great news. Pirates will change their pitcher here in the bottom of the 4th inning. AT Phillies will be the new pitcher as he takes over for Jonathan Neese, who went 3 innings. There are Phillies' numbers in 2 games so far, just 2 innings of work. 27-year-old out of the Dominican Republic. He will face Tyler Goodell, who grounded out sharply to the mound his first time up. That's 95 right there. He was right on. 95. Which is not an oddity, obviously, in the game of baseball anymore. Heck, 97, 98 is not an oddity anymore. Back with a breaking ball, and it's 0-2. Goodell, Nick Williams, Taylor Featherston. Way outside. AT Phillies is trying to make the Pirates ball club 97 career saves with a career ERA of 3.17. He can still bring it. Can he be the closer that he used to be? Who knows at this point. Medina's starting to warm up for the Phils, so it looks like he'll pitch next. The nervous Medina. Acquired in the Jesse Biddle trade from the Pirates. 3-2.
I love the fact that after Goodell took that pitch, he kind of slapped his front leg, telling himself, hey, you need to stay back, don't be jumping. Allow him to generate the power.
That one is sprayed out towards shallow right center, and Harrison's there to make the catch. 1 away. Tomorrow morning, Phillies insider Jim Salisbury has the latest from Clearwater. Start your day with Breakfast on Broad, weekday mornings on TCN, the Comcast network. Jimmy is back today. We saw him in the office earlier. Back from being home for a few days, where his daughter and our high school put together a production of Shrek, the musical. He was very excited about that. He was at Unionville High School. Follow Jim on Twitter. The last couple of weeks, he's been tweeting the promotional photo of that play, of the musical, I should say. 1 ball, no strikes to Nick Williams. And he takes inside 2-0. Matt, you have any recollection of what the fastest pitch you have faced in your career was, if you took a blink up at the radar gun?
Oh, easy. First major league at bat, Rob Dibble, 102.
102.
102 fastball away. I swung at it. I almost hit the catcher throwing the ball back. That's how late I was.
2-1 pitch to Williams. That one's out towards shallow center. Here comes McCutchen, and he can't get it. It skips by him. And Williams can run, so he's on his way to second, and he's there standing. with a one-out double.
Doesn't matter how hard you hit it, it's where you place it. Mr. McCutcheon had a very nice jump, just under his glove. But what I like to, not bad. He run the bases, not too bad. He stumbled there because he was watching the play.
Yeah.
That's why you have coaches for. The coaches are your eyes. You worry about getting to first base and taking the proper cut around the base. Mickey will pick you up if he wants you to go or not at first base.
I think a different time of the year, you probably would have saw McCutcheon leave his feet to make that catch, although maybe he thought he had it lined up. Nonetheless, the Phils have a one-out double, and here is Taylor Featherston. Now, I asked you about the velocity, and I do remember that story. I remember you telling us that story, because there was a time when Phillies was an all-star closer for the Rangers that he had a fastball that hit 103 on the radar gun. Up high. I don't know what 103 would look like in comparison to 102, 101, 199.
There's not a big difference.
I would hope not.
I mean, really, there's not. I mean, if you have a guy who's throwing 96, 97, I think it's just the fact that you get caught up. It's 100. And I saw Chapman throw a pitch at 104, 105 to Tony Gwynn Jr.
Correct.
In San Diego. That was impressive. He threw it inside to Tony Gwynn. The catcher didn't even get a glove on it. Didn't hit the umpire and hit the backstop right in the air. Just thunk.
Into foul territory. Jaso says he has it. And there are 2 outs.
That win is bringing everything back. First base side.
Cesar Hernandez was up right-handed last time against Nice, and this is what he did.
Well, and I like it because it was following a 4-pitch walk, and he got up there and he was aggressive, but he was looking for a pitch to drive, drove it to left center for a nice triple and a big knock, which I love the approach. Now we'll see what happens. He hit a fastball his last time up. What are they going to start him off with the runners in scoring position this time? Speed.
That sailed way outside. Yeah, Cesar does like the fastball.
Well, and that, as a hitter, that's where you need to focus that. Okay, you had first and second, your first at bat, you jumped all over a fastball, you crushed it to left center. Now you have a guy on second base in scoring position. Your thought process has changed a little bit. You can't all of a sudden sit there, okay, I'm going to hit fastball, sit on fastball, throws you off speed, and you react to it. You need to sit on your strength until 2 strikes. And that's one thing you've probably heard me say 1,000 times over the last couple of years. Hit to your strength until you get 2 outs. It's hard enough to square up a baseball, let alone hitting an off-speed pitch when you're sitting on a fastball.
Ball is sliced out toward left, and it's playable. So the Phillies do threaten here in the 4th inning. They get a base runner in scoring position, but do not score. We've completed 4, and it's 4-zip. Phil's on top. For the 5th inning. Turkey Hill Kids opening night is Saturday, April 16th, when the Phillies take on the Washington Nationals. That's the giveaway. It's the Kids Pullover, free to fans 14 and under. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com for that weekend series against the Washington Nationals. Yoervis Medina will be the new pitcher for the Phillies. Those are his numbers last year in the big leagues. He was with 2 different major league organizations, and the Phillies actually acquired him from the Pirates in the Jesse Biddle deal. So he's trying to make this ball club out of spring training. He is a big dude. Walking by him today in the clubhouse. Yeah, he's a large fella. Got a big arm. Nice job by Andrew Belly. 1 inning and nothing across. Fastball was good. John Jaso will lead it off. It'll be Diaz and Joyce following Jaso. Got a play, and it's 0-1. Play again, and it'll be 0-2 to Jaso. So many games with Tampa Bay last year, mostly as the designated hitter. Throw Medina into the mix for the Phillies bullpen, because I do think there's slots open. He probably, as he delivers a pretty good slider in the back door there, probably is not in the same vein as some of the others, but he's got a live arm. Well, speaking of a guy that had a live arm here this afternoon, Adam Morgan is standing by with Greg Murphy. Murph?
Absolutely did, Tom. You're right about that. We were just chatting about your outing, and you said, well, today everything seemed to be working for you today.
Yeah. Today, everything was going good. My main focus was just strike one and attacking the hitters. Just not trying to be too fine with anything, keep the ball down, and not walk anybody. But unfortunately, it happened once. But yeah, it was good.
In true competitor fashion, you came down here. I said, "Hey, that was a real good outing," and you said, "What did you say?"
I said, "Really, the pitcher."
The pitcher.
Yeah, the pitcher got me right there. But you just tip your hat right there. I was just trying to be too fine with him, and really you just need to go after him. Right there when I had him on 2 strikes, I should have done a slider instead of a curveball, but you live in your lane.
The Phillies fans got a chance to learn about Adam Morgan second half of last season. We got a chance to learn and see you pitch, but now we're almost 2 years removed from your surgery. How is the arm feeling? I've got to, Bob McClure said it looks to him as if you're free and clear. You're throwing the ball with very free motion.
Yeah, this offseason was a big one for me, just to have a steady throwing program and not be monitored and kind of handcuffed doing this, can't do that. But so this offseason has been great, and just on the throwing program with my brother, and at it every day, and it's feeling great.
You've got that your eye on the rotation, of course. That's exactly what you're hearing. You're battling for. This early in spring, do you have a feel for where you're at right now? Do you feel like you're getting to the point where you need to be?
Yeah, I feel like I'm making strides every day, but for the 5th spot, it's good that everybody's down here competing. I mean, we're playing good, pitching good, hitting good. So I feel like it's making the team better with this competition.
All right, before I let you go, it was a pretty good year 2015 for you. You made your major league debut. You got married at the end of 2015. And then right in 2016, the Crimson Tide won a national championship. What was the best moment? I'm going to put you on the spot.
Getting married.
There you go.
Getting married.
See? He's a bright guy, too. Pretty good, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good year.
Congratulations on all of that, and congratulations on a good outing today. All right, you got it. Guys?
All right, Murph, we appreciate that. Adam Morgan is a good guy. He certainly had the right answer there.
Well, he had a couple of great answers. One, yes, getting married is the most important thing, and the best thing that happened was, two, was working on throwing strike one. It's so important, and especially for guys that throw upper 90s can get away with not throwing a strike one. But when you throw 91, 92, top out at 93, and you have great off-speed stuff, that's where it's so important to jump ahead of the hitters. And now, all of a sudden, you can throw the curveball, you can throw the slider. And I love the remark that he said about giving the base hit to Nice. He should have threw the slider instead of a curveball. Me, personally, I think the easiest pitch to hit off a left-hander is a curveball because you get a chance to see the break and you get to see it a little longer.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll look at some of the things that he did here this afternoon. They didn't really barrel up a whole lot against him.
No, they didn't, because he had that curveball working. It wasn't just down the zone. It was burying into the right-handers, keeping the lefties off balance, the high fastball right there versus Joyce. But I just really liked his one, he was in a great rhythm. And two, he was making quality pitches right there, a slider, getting a nice 5-4-3 double play. And like Bob McClure said, he might not be that guy that always hits the spot, but when he needs to make a pitch, he makes the pitch, and that's what happens with the 5-4-3 double play.
Good pitch there by Medina to get Gobert to go chasing. It's 0-1. The walk issued by Medina, just the second issued by Phillies pitching so far today. Well, not to back up what you were saying, Morgan, for the 10 hitters he faced, 7 of the 10 he threw first pitch strike, including the last 5 that went up against him. "4-0 Phillies." They scored 2 in the first, 2 in the second. Swing and a miss. Sure was. It's almost in the same spot as the fastball on the last pitch. Comes back with a changeup.
8 mile an hour slower.
Yep.
Good arm action, good movement, good location. People talk about the hardest pitch to hit in baseball is a located fastball. I think a straight change is. Changeup right down the middle because you have no idea if you want to hit it to right, left, center. Hard to pick up the rotation, especially if a pitcher has the same arm slot and the same rotation with the changeup as the fastball. There's no way you can determine. Well, for me, there was no way I could determine how hard the velocity was of the ball. And I'd hit that thing up an elevator shaft every time.
It was never right on a tee for you, was it?
Well, it was on a tee. I was just uppercutting her. I was swinging underneath it a little bit too much.
It's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Gobert. Outside, 2-2.
You got to remember, my thought process of hitting was a little different than a lot of people. I thought a two-seamer, a good two-seamer from a right-hander, was the easiest pitch to pitch. It was the easiest pitch to pull in baseball properly. Because all you had to do was just go out and drop the barrel to the ball and finish high. Now you're getting underneath it with that little loop swing that everyone has. And it was, for me, it was able to drive the ball to right center versus a sinker ball. Everyone says, "Oh, you got to think hit the ball opposite field." No chance. Get the barrel out early. Doesn't work for everyone.
Runner goes. Pitch is just outside. Ball 4. All right. Well, this is what we were talking about and have been discussing over the last couple of days. The number of walks. The number of walks that the relievers have given up. And it's something that Bob McClure has discussed. And here Medina gets the first 2 batters and now walks the last 2 batters. And he will face Dan Gamache, who will be the pinch hitter. And he got him out front. Shallow right center field. Goodell calls off Featherston, makes the catch, and the side is retired. Couple walks by Medina, but he leaves 2. Middle of the 5th, it's the Phillies 4 and the Pirates nothing. fifth inning. DraftKings 2016 Phillies schedule magnets will be given out to all fans on Friday, April 1st, when the Phillies take on the Baltimore Orioles, and on Wednesday, April 13th, when they take on the San Diego Padres. Now, the Orioles game is one of the exhibition games that the Phillies will play before the start of the season. The second game is a regular season ball game. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. Well, Rob Scahill is the new pitcher for the Pirates. His numbers this spring: he's allowed 3 hits over 2 innings of work. Pitched last year in the big leagues for 28 games with Pittsburgh. Had an ERA of 2.64. First made it to the big leagues with the Colorado Rockies a few years ago. And he will face Freddie Galvis to start the bottom of the 5th inning.
Not a lot going on, so.
Tom, is it too early for me to give up the no-hitter updates in spring training?
No, not at all. I think you have to get your routine. Yeah.
The Yankees have a no-hitter going.
What innings?
Bottom of the 6th. The Yankees versus Miami. CC Sabathia started that game.
Okay.
Cisa, Olsen, Yates. 5 1/3 right now.
Wow. Freddie Galvis fouls off the 1-0 pitch. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Ready.
Think he'll go to the Hall of Fame?
No, but still be pretty cool.
They just asked if you guys were going to come to me.
I think it's pretty cool what the Phillies have done to the Pirates these last couple of days.
Absolutely.
From a pitching standpoint. As Galvis waves at the 1-1, it's 1-2.
They come in bunches.
Jonathan Neese allowed 4 runs in 3 innings of work today for Pittsburgh. Outside. And a strike 3 call. So Galvis is down looking. And 1 away here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Elvis Araujo is warming up in the pen for the Phils. He's actually scheduled to pitch today and tomorrow. They've done that the last couple of days where they've had relievers go back-to-back games because they're going to need to do that during the regular season. Here's Borges. Borges walked and scored his first time up, fly to center his last time. Playing center field today for Odubel Herrera. Look out. Wow. I do believe everybody's okay. I think they're looking to see where the baseball is. There may be a day where the netting goes all the way down that way. I don't know if they can do that. 1-2.
Plexiglass, just like a hockey rink.
One and 2 to Borges. Swing and miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Scahill. And they're 2 away. Want to know the latest on the Phils? Well, then follow Phillies insider Jim Salisbury on Twitter and on CSNPhilly.com. Jimmy will be on Breakfast on Broad tomorrow morning, as we mentioned before. Get you caught up on everything going on as far as the Phillies are concerned. Franco is 0 for 2. He's flied out twice. Ooh, right square in the back. That was a breaking ball that just got away. And Franco will take his spot over at first.
Overthrew it. That was close.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, I feel like, oh, this is not good.
Well, he's going to be done. He's gearing up for a fastball and just couldn't break his way out of the way there. Ryan Jackson will come on a pinch run for Maikel Franco.
And I will say that's the proper technique of, if you're going to get hit by a pitch, turn away from the ball.
He didn't expose his face or his hands, and he's holding his back as he's going to the dugout. Here's Darren Ruff, who homered his first time up, 1 for 2. And he hits that one sharply on a couple hops to second, or to shortstop, I should say. The throw goes to second to retire the side. So a fielder's choice for Darren Ruff. We have played 5, and the Phils still holding on to a 4-run lead. A lot of great action for the Phils offensively in the first couple of innings. They scored 4 runs in the first 2 innings. Meanwhile, for the Pirates, no runs in the last 2 games against the Phillies. It started out well offensively for Darren Ruff and for Cesar Hernandez, and it also started off well for Adam Morgan, who threw 3 scoreless innings for the Phillies. So now we go to the top of the 6th, and Elvis Araujo will be the new pitcher for the Phils. The big lefty is in his 3rd game this spring. After making the big club last year, Phillies signed him to a major league contract prior to last season, even though he had not pitched in a big league game. Ryan Jackson, who came on to pinch run for Maikel Franco, stays in and plays 3rd. As Harrison takes strike 1, it's 0-1. It'll be Harrison, Mercer, and McCutchen. Maybe their last ABs of the day. Going 2 to Harrison. He is flied out to right and grounded into a double play. Biting on that one. It's 1-2. This guy's turned himself into a heck of a ball player.
Called opportunity.
Took advantage of it.
Took advantage of it.
Full advantage of it.
Win the batting title, didn't it, 2 years ago?
Yeah, that was before he signed that contract before the start of last season. Here's Borges shading his eyes from the sun. Puts it away. 1 out. Well, yesterday, Vince Velasquez looked very strong against these Pirates, and because of that, he's going to be with Greg Murphy. Murph?
Yeah, Vince joining us down here in the corner. And, well, first of all, Tom was just talking about your outing yesterday. Very strong, 3 strong innings. You scattered a couple of hits in there, but able to get out of any kind of trouble that you found yourself in. You felt pretty good about it, I guess?
Yeah, overall, I was pretty comfortable. Kind of locked in, kind of bear down a little bit. Kind of put myself into those situations, and that's one of the things where you got to really bear down and focus.
Talk a little bit about your preparation as you come to Major League Camp, because I read a little bit when you first arrived here. You said, I'm not a guy that needs to build up. You came here ready to go.
Yeah, right out of the gate, I had the chance to make the team, and, that's not really in the back of my mind right now. I've always just been one of those kids where as soon as, it's time to go, get after it, and that's pretty much my mindset.
You know what it's like to pitch in the big leagues, and when you came over from Houston, you knew you were going to get the opportunity, as you said, to win a job here in Philadelphia. As you've gone through the first couple of weeks with these new teammates and with this new organization, how comfortable are you right now?
I don't want to say complacent, but I'm actually pretty comfortable at the level where I'm used to the guys. We're a good group of guys. We create a good camaraderie. As far as the pitching staff, a lot of starters that I hang out with. But the position players as well. So it's a great bond that we have so far. So I'm looking forward to seeing later on in the future what that bonding is going to lead us to.
Well, before I let you go, we had some breaking news earlier in the day in camp, because we have known you as Vincent, but now it's Vince, right? It's just Vince.
Vince. It's always stuck. At home they call me Vince, and Houston, they call me Vince, but I'm pretty stuck with Vince. I'm liking Vince a lot.
And in Philadelphia, you might get Vinny too.
Oh, definitely. I'm ready for it.
Welcome to Philadelphia, Vince. All right, that's going to do it for Vince Velasquez, and we're at the end of the break. 4-0 Phillies. We'll be right back.
The Pirates have 1 hit. The Phillies have just 3 hits, but one of them was a 2-run home run by Darren Ruff. The other was a 2-run triple by Cesar Hernandez. Curtis Parch will be the new pitcher for the Pirates as we begin the bottom of the 6th inning. This is his 3rd game this spring. He's allowed 3 hits and 2 innings of work. So he will face Carlos Ruiz, Tyler Goodell, and Nick Williams to start this inning off. Phillies so far in 8 games coming into this ball game in the spring have a .264 team average, a .358 on base percentage. They had scored 47 runs coming in, which was 2nd most in Grapefruit League. Yeah, I was kind of surprised by that. And they have 25 extra base hits. That's coming into today's ball game. As Ruiz takes strike 1, and it's 0-1. I think those numbers, it's pretty good to to kickstart the first week of spring games. No balls and 1 strike to Ruiz. Carlos hits one foul down the left field line. That'll be out of play. It's 0-2. This is probably Carlos's last AB, although he does want to see all of these guys. Check swing in the dirt. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Chooch is a little jumpy right now. He's got to think about getting that ball, letting that ball get deep, hit that ball back to right center a little bit.
He was kind of frozen on that pitch right there. He struck out to start the 6th inning. Saturday, April 2nd, the Phillies will face the Phillies Futures at Citizens Bank Park. It's a concept where some of the young players that the Phillies have in their system, some of the bona fide up-and-coming stars in their system, will head to Philadelphia and play the big club. It's a 105 first pitch. It's presented by PGW. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. And fans coming to the ballpark that are 14 and under will receive the Phillies Futures Series Fathead as well. Here is Goodell. And Goodell takes strike 1. Goodell is 0 for 2. He's grounded out. He's also popped out. Boy, this guy has got a big looping breaking pitch. Kind of keeping everybody off balance, keeping them on their toes with that pitch. Parch is a 29-year-old who first made it to the big leagues with the Cincinnati Reds in 2013. He's pitched in 20 games in the big leagues. Pirates just signed him this past off season to a minor league free agent contract. Up high, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Tell he's got a little different delivery right there. He takes the ball out of his glove early, and as a hitter, it doesn't really mess with your head. You know, he brings it out and taps it a little bit twice, but you know, that's a situation where you just have to pick up right there, and that's when you start your movement getting into the power position.
Yeah, as a hitter, I wonder if can you see the ball popping out?
No, he hides the ball.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. It's almost like he pops his hand out of his glove and then goes back in and taps it like he wants to get a better grip. You know, so he sets up high, wrist moves right there, he brings it out, pops it back in.
Oh, that's a sharply foul. That was pretty close. You were about to say he gave up a double. Yeah. Changes for the Pirates. They have 3 new infielders, including Gift and Gopay at second base. Pedro Florimon is at short. Josh Bell is at first. Rogers stays in over at third base. In the outfield, they've got Figueroa in left field, Ramirez in center, and Garcia around in right field. 3-2 pitch to Goodell. Fly ball center field. And Ramirez Ooh, he lost it in the sun. And Goodell will stop at second base. You kind of saw his body language. He was sort of turning as the ball was coming down. And at some point, he just lost track of it. Couldn't pick it back up again.
Well, he does, and he doesn't have any glasses on. You can tell he's in trouble right there the whole way. When in doubt, you shade the sun. If you put the glove up in front of the sun and you're shading it, well, eventually it's going to come out of the sun, or it's going to hit you in the glove. But two, son, you need to take some glasses out in center field.
I was going to say, he needs to at least wear them. Here's Nick Williams. Williams has been on base twice. He was hit by a pitch and scored a run. He also doubled. Phillies trying to tack on another run here. They lead it 4-0 in the bottom of the 6th. See the outfielders. Figueroa's in left field. Ramirez, who just misplayed that ball, is in center. Garcia around in right field. The catcher and the third baseman are the same guys who started this ball game for the Pirates. He may have gone after ball 3. 2-1 to Nick Williams.
Thinking you're going to get a 2-0 cookie. And you swing, and then you're not looking for the ball. You're just assuming he's going to throw a cookie down the middle or in your third, which is fine. Young hitters, they'll learn. Smart hitting by Goodell, by the way. Getting a double out of that. Smart hitting.
Well, it's pulled foul. What, hitting it up in the sun like that?
Absolutely. Knowing that the center fielder does not have any glasses on. No flip downs. High sky.
Nobody wears flip downs anymore.
Which disappointing. I thought that was the coolest thing watching guys play early in their career. They look to the side and they tap the side of their head. I'm like, how did they get those down? Not realizing that there was a little lever on the side that knocked it down until I got a chance to wear them.
He left that one up out over the plate. Williams fouls it back. And the count sits at 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's the afternoon so far for Nick Williams. This one may be tough. It's playable. Nope, and the left fielder Cole Figueroa, fortunately for everybody else, was able to track it down. Well, he got over there pretty quickly, didn't he?
So fastball inside. Pretty good pitch to hit. But like you said, Figueroa getting over there very quick and making a very easy play with glasses on. You're checking to see if they're the flip downs.
I was. They looked like they had a little piece to the outside of each side. If they were a form of it, because the old ones used to wrap over the back of your hat. Featherston takes inside, 1-0. Yeah, those are the everyday Oakleys. High chopper to short. Florimon. Featherston does run well, but he's able to throw him out. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left in scoring position. 6 of the books here in Bright House Field. The Phillies up 4.
lead over the Pittsburgh Pirates here at Bright House Field. And guys, you take a look at this Pittsburgh Pirates team, and they've been a team that in Major League Baseball has been a team to be reckoned with over the last couple of years in the playoffs, the last 3 seasons. And, they had 98 wins a season ago. That was good, second best in all of baseball, because they play in a pretty tough division as well. The St. Louis Cardinals, you take a look at the best records in baseball over the last 3 years. The Cardinals at .287. A winning percentage of over 59%. But there are the Pirates right there at number 2. Followed by the Dodgers, the Royals, and the Nationals. So this is a team that was kind of built from the ground up, and they don't think it's going to go away anytime soon. They have a very good farm system. They're very happy with some of the guys that are coming in to replace. And, most of their best players, guys, their core guys, still very young as well. So this is a team that's going to be very good for years to come.
Yeah, and you look at the moves that they've already made this offseason. Pedro Alvarez not with them. He's with the Orioles now. They rely on pitching, defense, obviously timely hitting. They also got a guy in the dugout that went to the World Series with the Colorado Rockies, and his personality is infectious, and that sort of has helped out the rebirth of baseball in Pittsburgh. Dave Joust, one of his coaches, sitting next to him. Coached Matt for a little while when he was in his playing days. Here's Jason Rogers, who will lead it off. That note that Murph just showed you with the records is brought to you by Toyota. It's our Toyota leaderboard. Chris LaRue in his second spring game, 2 innings, his first time out, 2 strikeouts. Over toward the left side, cut off by Jackson. And Stassi makes a nice play over at first. I feel like we've said that a lot this spring. We talk about the changes for the Pirates. So they've added Phillies to try to win the bullpen job. Joyce as an extra man in the outfield. Vogelsong is big, and so is Jonathan Neese, who we saw earlier today start this ball game. Burnett retired. And Ramos Ramirez was picked up late. So was Soria. And it seemed like they were waiting to get rid of Pedro Alvarez because of his defense and lack thereof and his strikeouts. This is a guy who they feel like is going to be a star at one point or another. And that's Josh Bell.
You look at the roster moves that the Pirates have made in the offseason, and the name that stands out to me is that Neil Walker. I think that would be the biggest loss in their lineup and in the locker room. Tremendous guy. Locker presence.
Yeah, their thought was that they needed to fortify their pitching staff with A.J. Burnett retiring. And the only way they could do that was to trade Walker to the Mets to get Jonathan Neese. Bell rockets one on one hop right past Featherston. That ball jumped off his bat.
And it jumped. I mean, the ball, it came off his bat. Loud. It's a big old leg kick. But it hooked. I mean, we have a great view where we thought it was going to be the right over his shoulder, and then it came over to his left shoulder.
Yeah. Well, here is Diaz up for the 3rd time, a fielder's choice. His first time up, grounded out to short his last time. Inside corner, 1-1. Broke his bat. Shallow center field. Galvis got a good break on it. And makes the casual catch. There are 2 outs. Handles up the first base line. The head of the bat goes all the way out toward deep shortstop.
A late movement. Blows that bat up.
Now the Phillies have made some changes defensively as we are here in the 7th inning. They've got Stassi at first base. JP Arancibia behind the plate. In the outfield, Roman Quinn is in center and David Lowe is in right field. And here is Willie Garcia. Garcia has gotten some ABs during spring. Just 1 hit so far to show for it.
And Tom, I know you've been wondering, but the Yankees lost the no-hitter.
You know, I actually forgot. I wanted to mention it to you the last half inning. Are they leading in the ball game?
Yeah, 0-0.
Well, that pitching's not going to help if there's not a lot of offense as well.
Miami took the lead 1-0. No-hitter's gone. Shutout's gone. It's over.
It's usually when it starts to unravel. Up and in, ball 4. And the Pirates have runners on first and second. Garcia and Bell are 2 big boppers in the Pirates farm system. And now Cole Figueroa will get a chance to bat with 2 runners on base. Pitch is awfully close. It's called ball 1. I think LaRue's going to throw 1 inning today. We saw him in 2 innings the last time. I say that only because the Phillies have 2 other pitchers scheduled to be used today. As Arancibia is able to frame that one on the outside part of the plate. What makes LaRue so tough, Matt, as a hitter? I mean, when he's on, like, is it because of the angle of the way the pitch comes in?
I think it's the angle. I think it's also he can throw every pitch for a strike when he needs to.
That one's back toward the middle. It's going to sneak into center field, a base hit. Bell's around third, heading home. He'll score. No throw by Roman Quinn. And the Pirates fans will send up a little extra cheers. They have finally scored a run after being shut out yesterday and shut out for the first 6 2/3 here this afternoon.
You know, and these are the type of knocks you get with that late movement, 3/4 delivery, ball last second darting. Those top spin base hits up the middle or through the infielders. You know, I have no problems with the base hits. It's the walks. It's the walks where you need to go out and throw strikes and let your defense. And listen, I know they're not trying to walk people by no means. It's just a matter of sometimes maybe they start squeezing the baseball a little too tight. It's like hitters, you squeeze the bat a little too tight. It's easy for me to say up here you need to relax. I'm not up here fighting for a job on the field anymore.
Right. That ball had some pretty good action on it, though, too. Harold Ramirez takes a strike. Ramirez last year in the Florida State League hit .337. He stole 22 bases. A little out front. That one's a loop route toward left field. That's going to drop in for a hit. Williams charging. A run will score as his throw is cut off by Jackson at third. So 2 runs have crossed the plate here in the 7th inning. An RBI single. So 3 hits overall in the inning, plus the walk.
Wasn't that bad of a pitch. Out in front of it. Out the end of the bat.
So the Pirates have scored 2. They now have 4 hits. And Gift Ngope will be the hitter for the first time. He split time between AA and AAA last season. Hit 260 at AA, 246 at AAA. He chops it foul, and he's quickly in the hole, 0-2. Pirates have a left-hander on deck, and the Phillies have a left-hander warming in the pen. The ball squirts away from Arancibia, but not too far. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Young just made a nice stop.
Bobby Laframboise warming up in the bullpen for the Phils. And a call, strike 3. That one swept right over the heart of the plate, and the side is retired. The Pirates do score a couple runs. It's time to stretch here at Bright House Field, where the Phils are holding on to a 4-2 lead. Four to 2, Phillies on top. Juan Diaz takes over at third base for the Pirates. Reese McGuire is the catcher, and Guido Knudsen is the new pitcher for the Pirates. He made it to the big leagues last year with the Tigers. In 4 games, he allowed 10 earned runs in 5 innings of work. So he wants to get back to the big leagues, Matt, to get that major league ERA down. Facing Cesar Hernandez here in the bottom of the 7th. Had a play over the third base dugout. He's been a relief pitcher his entire professional career, which has spanned since 2011 with the Detroit Tigers. 28th round selection.
I want to see a hard ground ball to short right here.
Off the hands. That's out toward left center field. You okay with that?
Yep. Because it's on the line.
That's 2 hits now for Cesar here this afternoon. So he has 4 hits this spring. And Emmanuel Burris will come on to pinch hit.
And the reason why is because that means you're staying on the ball a little longer. You're not thinking hitting the ball to left field. I hate the phrase of I think to hit the ball to right field or left field because bad mechanics, you start guiding the barrel, all of a sudden it drops. But you think about driving that ball to shortstop, driving that ball to second base. You keep the barrel above the ball and you drive that ball there. Even though he got jammed, proper technique going through the baseball. That's the reason why he muscled it out for a base hit.
You had some thoughts on whether he's going to be off and running at any point here early on?
Well,
it's a 4-2 ball game.
They like to run early.
They do. First couple pitches of each at bat.
But it's hard. I mean, he's never seen him before. Watching film on him.
Outside, 2-0 to Burris.
You sit there and during the regular season, you know when they bring in relievers what type of move they have, how slow they are to home plate. Your first base coach always gives you that information. Here, you're still trying to figure them out. This is a great time for hit and run. 2-0. No outs.
There he goes, and it is hit and run back to the box. And the only play is over to first. So 1-3 on the putout. The Phillies have a runner in scoring position. And Roman Quinn will be the batter. Well, Pete's gotten the guy in the scoring position. Now let's see if the Phillies can get that runner home. Roman Quinn, 3 hits so far, a couple RBIs. He has a home run to the right side. Well, he was aggressive, and he can run. Oh, man, did he make that close at first. Over to third base goes Hernandez. Watch him go.
Routine ground ball.
I think Bell was just hoping that he called him out because he started stretching out, looking at the runner at third, thinking, okay, call him out, call him out, call him out. Well, that's what we've been told about him, is he can run. Here comes Ryan Jackson, and he takes a breaking ball for strike 0-1. Fly ball, shallow center field. And Ramirez started back. He comes in. He'll call off Figueroa. Side is retired. The Phils, no runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. Did he have his glasses on?
Yes, he did.
We'll go to the 8th. 8th inning. They'll dip back into their bullpen one more time. MLB.TV Premium, everything you have come to expect and more. New low price for 2016. Watch every out-of-market game of all 30 teams live in true HD on over 400 supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Fanatic's getting his groove on. Making his way up the stairs on the third base side. His afternoon is just about complete. Bobby Laframboise is the new pitcher for the Phils, the left-hander. This will be his third game. 3 innings so far, 3 strikeouts facing his former team, the Pirates. Phillies have adjusted their infield up the middle as we begin the top of the 8th inning. Burris is at second base, and Featherston moves from second base over to shortstop. There's Burris. Featherston. Here's Pedro Florimon. Boy, he's had a good start to spring training. And he lines the first pitch out to low. And there's one away. And Juan Diaz is coming up. Phillies are in search of left-handed relief pitcher. Guys that can, whether it be pitch a full inning or at least come in to get lefties out. Jake Diekman being traded last year kind of changed the complexion of the bullpen from that standpoint. They have Araujo. They kind of know what they have with Elvis, and he's done really well. Laframboise is one of those guys they could also use as a lefty against lefties, but as a long man too.
Well, and they also like that little funky delivery.
Correct.
He's tough to pick up versus left-handers. He hides the ball really well.
That one's out towards short. Featherston makes the catch. So they have guys competing for this job, and they can take more than one. I mean, they've got Oberholzer too. He pitched well yesterday. Who they like as a long man.
That's a real fight. I'm sorry, he's out of options.
Correct.
Nice timing play right there. The bullpen is wide open.
Yeah, I think it even more so than I think we thought coming in. It is a funky delivery. Reese McGuire came on to catch. Out to shallow center field. Roman Quinn. He got a good jump. An easy inning for Laframboise. Pirates go down in order in their half of the 8th inning. Let's see if the Phil's offense can tack on some more runs when we come back. who scored 4 runs in the first 2 innings of this game, still lead it by 2. And they will dip into the Pirates bullpen one more time. Kelvin Marte is the new pitcher. 0-1 with an ERA of over 13 so far in 3 games. Last year, Marte was in the Giants organization. He had 10 wins in Double-A Richmond. 19 starts, 26 appearances overall. Had a decent ERA for the Eastern League of 2.63. Brock Stassi will lead things off, and he swings at the first pitch. Marte is no relation to Starling Marte, a fine outfielder for the Pirates. He was part of the Eastern League All-Star team a season ago. Not a big guy, 5'9", 170 pounds. And that one is looped out toward the right side and caught out of the air, one away. Boy, that was an optical illusion going off the bat, wasn't it? It didn't sound like he hit it all that well.
Big old leg kick, hands back. That is what you call using that back leg. Coming in tomorrow. Kind of tied him up right there. The one-handed swing.
Yeah, that's the leg kick that he's incorporated over the last 2 years. He hasn't always had it. He kind of changed to it, trying to generate a little bit more pop off his bat. As Aaron Sebia is up for the first time. That ball is rocketed inside the third base bag down the left field line. Figueroa is going to get to it quickly, so Aaron Sebia has to hold up at first. That was a strong arm. Wow. Time now for our W.B. Mason delivery of the game, and it was the effort of Adam Morgan here this afternoon. 3 innings, 1 hit, and just 1 walk.
Yeah, tremendous job today. First pitch strike, 7 out of 10 hitters you faced. Had a great rhythm. Everything he threw, you need to elevate the fastball. He did. He had a very good control and very good command of his off-speed pitch. Getting key double plays when he needed to, and that's the key for him. Working down the zone right there, 5-4-3 double play. That's why that is the W.B. Mason deliveries of the game.
It was nice to see. It's been nice to see these last couple of days the starters get off on such good notes.
Where's he going to go Thursday? So you'll drive down.
David Lowe is batting here for the first time. It's a strike and it's 0-1. Looks like Dalier Hinojosa is going to be the next pitcher for the Phils. There he is warming up. Not many guys left out there, although minor league camp has started today officially. Photo day was yesterday. They could always call down and say, hey, we need another pitcher. Pirates are bringing another number 52 up to their bullpen warming up. They've already had one number 52 pitch. That was Rob Scahill. Matt Benedict is the guy who's warming up right now.
Really, I'm not starting that game. Then you can get him started? Yeah, so.
Phillies will welcome in those Baltimore Orioles tomorrow, and we will be on the air beginning at 1 o'clock. It's a split squad day. We'll be on the Comcast network for the Phillies and Orioles here. There'll be a busload of Phillies going to take on the Minnesota Twins tomorrow. It's a long bus ride, Matt.
Let me guess, Larry Bowa staying?
I think Bowa is staying this time. I do think it's his turn to stay.
I just need to know where we're going to need to drive ourselves.
A little high, and it's 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Dave and I.
I still miss those B games, though. B games would start at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Be done by 1?
Absolutely. Before that, it wasn't a regular, it was your guys that were going to get work on. Like, I mean, Gary Wood was a guy who we used to face. You go over there, you play 4 or 5 innings, you're done for the day. It was tremendous.
Hot shot to short. Well, he's going to take it himself, and he just barely is able to get low. The side is retired. That ball was hit so hard, I don't even think the second baseman and Gope was even there. It's a 6-3 double play. Last chance for the Pirates. Let's see if the Phils can close it out when we get back. To 2 as we go to the top of the 9th inning. Dayer Hinojosa will be the new pitcher in a save situation. Now, you may say to yourself, all right, well, it's spring training. It's not a huge deal that it's a save situation, but they do want to see if Hinojosa can handle these kind of situations. It's not out of the realm of possibility that he could be the closer in 2016 at some point.
Right. And like you said, it doesn't matter if it's spring training games or an exhibition game or regular season game. You still have to have the right mind thought of closing out a game, and what better time to figure out if he can do it in spring training.
The Phillies pitchers the last 2 days against the Pirates, 2 earned runs in 17 innings of work. Now they've walked 6, but they've struck out 10. Today they wound up walking 4. 2 of those coming from Medina. I think all in all, though, if you're Bob McClure, you're pretty happy, particularly with the way the starters have set the tone in these last 2 games. Here's Josh Bell. Bell, depending on which service you look at, is a top 5 prospect for the Pittsburgh Pirates. He is out of Dallas, Texas. And he gets some bat speed going. Outside, 2-0. Yeah, there's no cheat in that swing there, Matt. Second round pick in 2011. He is 23 years old. On the outside corner, 2-2. Last year he combined for 7 home runs, 78 RBIs. He had 40 extra base hits and hit .317. and it'll go out of play. Staying alive.
You know, I like sitting and watching hitters' approaches, and I see the reason why he doesn't drive the ball to the ballpark with a lot of power. His swing is in and out of the zone pretty quick, but he generates tremendous bat speed. Anything down and into him, he's going to crush.
Heads up, right.
And generating power and hitting home runs or hitting power to left center, right center power gap, you need to keep that barrel in the zone as long as you can. And a lot of it has to do with when you swing, you finish high. Two-hand swing, finish high, makes your barrel sit to the zone a little quicker and longer. He has tremendous bat speed, but he does cut it off. That's why he probably doesn't have that drive.
We're going to have to hurry to try to get him here, and they do. One away. Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts. Surprised they haven't simplified it a little bit during the course of his career.
This is a very good pitch. Off speed pitch low and away. Does a nice job putting the barrel on the ball, but, and like you said, there is a lot of moving parts. Once you get to the point where you find your happy spot of, okay, this is going to be my swing, you calm it down a little bit. Tremendous bat speed.
Here's Danny Ortiz pinch hitting. 0-1.
And then you go to a night and day hitter. Danny Ortiz is a very quiet hitter. No body movement. Hitters like this know that they have quick bat speed. They don't need to generate a lot of power with their upper body.
Over to shortstop again. Featherston, who made the move from second to short earlier in the game, has 2 assists since moving over. The Phillies are 1 out away from finishing off these 2 games against the Pirates. These are 4-3-1 to start the spring. A lot of folks don't put a whole lot of stock in spring training records, but it's better to be above 500 than below 500. As Garcia, who walked and scored his first time up, takes a bit inside. Hossa now has worked ahead 1 ball and 2 strikes, trying to finish off this afternoon of baseball. Adam Morgan started. He went 3. And then 5 other pitchers threw an inning out of the pen. And now it's Hossa who's trying to finish it off here in the top of the 9th inning. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Boy, did the bottom drop out of that one. A 1-2-3 9th inning for Hossa. The Phillies relievers retired the last 7 hitters that they faced, and the Phils have won.